John Coleman's fair and mild weekend, and much more right now on the Channel 5 News at 4:30.
Live on Channel 5. This is the 4:30 News with Ron Majors and Marlene McClinton, John Coleman with weather, and Warner Saunders with sports. The Channel 5 News at 4:30.
The Soviet Union's most prominent dissidents are being freed from their exile. The Kremlin announcing today that Nobel Peace Prize winner Andrei Sakharov and his wife Yelena Bonner are now free to return to Moscow, free to leave the closed city of Gorky.
The White House is also welcoming the end of the banishment, and the news is bringing holiday cheer for friends of other Soviet dissidents right here in Chicago. As Channel 5's Rich Samuels reports now live from Highland Park. Rich?
Marlene, I'm in the office of Chicago Action for Soviet Jewry, where today's news was well received, as you might imagine. It is all the more heartening because it comes in the wake of other possibly significant human rights gestures by the Soviets earlier this week. Andrei Sakharov is the Soviet Union's best-known dissident. The Nobel Peace Laureate's exile lasted almost 7 years. But now he and Yelena Bonner, his wife, convicted 2 years ago of slandering the Soviet state, will be allowed to return to Moscow.
It is probably the nicest Christmas or Hanukkah or New Year present we ever had. What can I tell you? It's wonderful.
Sakharov and his wife are the latest beneficiaries of Soviet goodwill, but there have been others in recent days. Just yesterday, Rima Brave and her husband Vladimir left Moscow. For 10 years, Mrs. Brave, a cancer victim, had been seeking treatment in the West.
I don't think it's time for me to be just patient and quiet as I was advised. I really am going to do anything to be with my husband.
And the day before, Sonia Eichenwald was told she could leave Moscow. Previously, she was refused a dozen times, but now she can join Michael, her husband, the principal spokesperson for Americans married to Soviet citizens.
Would you like to see Chicago again? Of course. I dream of it.
But Abe Stoller, born in Chicago, remains in Moscow. He's been there 56 years. Today, he turned 75. And his friends here wished him happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Abe. Let's celebrate your 76th birthday here in Chicago. It's your kind of town. Sincerely, Mayor Washington.
Listen, I'm ready to cry. I'm so moved. It's so beautiful.
Whether Abe and the 3 generations of his family trapped in Moscow will be beneficiaries of Soviet goodwill is known only inside the Kremlin.
It seems things are happening. But every time something happens, everybody hopes that he'll be in line too. But you can never tell. They might stop just short of us.
Well, that call with Abe was recorded about half an hour ago. Someone here asked him how he felt being 75 years old, and he said he felt more like he was 17. We should all feel that good, Ron and Marlene.
Okay, thank you very much, Rich. Freed American mercenary Eugene Hassenfuss is spending his first day at home alone with his family. Hassenfuss arrived late yesterday at his Wisconsin home to the embraces of his children and congratulations from friends and relatives. The FBI told him not to talk about his case until they talk with him.
Time will come where we can have question and answer periods, which I'm sure will come whether I like it or not.
How do you feel about the Nicaraguan people now that they have let your father go?
We really like them and we thank them a lot.
Happy. Well, happy.
Yeah.
Hassenfuss spent more than 2 months in a Nicaraguan jail after being shot down during a gun-running mission.
The federal investigation of the secret arms deal enters a new phase this evening. Lawrence Walsh, a former federal judge, is the new independent prosecutor appointed to take over the criminal investigation.
Channel 5's Steve Handelsman has more on Walsh and other developments in the weapons scandal. Steve?
Thanks, Marlene. There's been another development just a few minutes ago. Edwin Meese, U.S. Attorney General, just emerged from a hearing here at the U.S. Capitol in front of the members of the House Intelligence Committee. Meese told them, he said to reporters upon coming out, that he has no idea how much money was diverted from Iran arms sales to the Contras. You'll recall it was Edwin Meese some weeks ago who told the world, and he said told the president for the first time, that Oliver North had made that diversion. Today, Meese says, doesn't have a dollar figure. The big news today, though, is the choice of special prosecutor Lawrence E. Walsh of Oklahoma City. His friends call him Ed. The new Iran-Contra scam special prosecutor is a 74-year-old distinguished lawyer, former deputy U.S. Attorney General, former American Bar Association president, a former federal judge. As the White House requested, the federal court has ordered Walsh to investigate the whole question of the Reagan administration's dealings with Iran, arms, hostages, the Israel connection, and the whole question of funding the Contra rebels from Iranian arms profits. And the court went further, ordering the special prosecutor to investigate the whole question of administration and private support of the Contras. That gives Lawrence Walsh broad powers to probe deeply into the Reagan administration, using grand juries, subpoenas, and independent investigators. But today, the special prosecutor had two reasons for not talking about his work.
We're just beginning, and therefore not very well prepared to talk. And the second is that there are possibilities of criminal prosecutions. And in fairness to the people involved and to avoid any prejudice to our investigation, I do not want to discuss it.
Attorney General Edwin Meese said today he's glad the special prosecutor's been chosen.
I have talked with Mr. Walsh, the independent counsel, and pledged the full cooperation of the Justice Department, and he will be meeting this afternoon with the FBI director.
And before leaving for Camp David this afternoon, President Reagan issued a statement promising his complete cooperation with Lawrence Walsh. While in New York, a former special prosecutor said the new special prosecutor may test that promise.
And I imagine that Mr. Walsh may very well want to talk to the president at some point.
For sure, Walsh will want to talk to William Casey, and that may be possible. Doctors said today the CIA director is doing well after brain cancer surgery and may be able to return to work. Back live now. Finally today, Vice President Bush is saying to John Poindexter and to Oliver North, who've taken the Fifth Amendment and refused to testify, that he would like them to answer one question. He says they should tell the world whether they told President Reagan that, in fact, money from the Iran arms deal went to the Contras. No reaction yet reported from Poindexter or from North. Reporting live from Capitol Hill, this is Steve Handelsman, Channel 5 News. Marlene?
Sounds like there's some other news happening back there, but we'll
Sounds
skip
like
that
a fire
for right
up
now.
here.
Thanks.
I don't see flames, though.
All right, thanks, Steve. Last night we reported the FBI's capture of Joseph Doherty, one of the 10 most wanted criminals in America. Well, today, the man the FBI caught told a federal judge in San Francisco he's not Doherty, the man who escaped an FBI dragnet here in Chicago last week when his partner, Terry Conner, was arrested. The man identified himself today as Webb Barry Yarrington. And that happened at today's arraignment. Federal prosecutors insist he is Doherty, and he will remain locked up until it's sorted out.
Even though an accused killer remains behind bars tonight, a senior citizens apartment building has a lot of people still in fear. Channel 5's Mary Murnane traveled out to Rolling Meadows, where local police tried to calm them.
We were all close in the building. We were family.
Marion Fetter and the family of senior citizens who made a home out of this Rolling Meadows apartment building went searching for some answers today, hoping to find some peace of mind. This special meeting to help the seniors sort out some of their feelings following the stabbing death Wednesday night of 66-year-old Meyer Harris and the wounding of his 67-year-old wife Yetta.
Their homes have been invaded, their lives have been invaded, so there's an attack to everything that's meant anything through them.
Bob Geis and the Rolling Meadows police are here in hope of giving seniors that peace of mind. Still, elderly residents like Mary Zeman say the tragedy has changed everything here.
I can't understand why it had to happen to our building where we live at.
It was very upsetting to all of us. We just don't sleep too well at night yet.
It makes you mad. It makes you wonder why.
It may be a long time before things return to normal for the senior citizens here, and tragically, for some, it may never return. Mary Murnane, Channel 5 News.
A 36-year-old man, Paul Latier, has been charged with the murder of 67-year-old Meyer Harris. Latier remains in the Cook County Jail tonight. He's being held without bond.
Santa still will slip down most chimneys and into most houses this Christmas, but this morning he paid an early visit to Chicago's Lighthouse for the Blind. Santa knows there's something wonderful about giving gifts to these children from the Lighthouse and the Eleanor Palmer Child Development Center.
Now, for those of you who have no plans to be in the Omaha area this Christmas season, we're going to show you a farmer who really knows how to light up the night. We just don't want you to miss it.
And it was a long night for the family of Megan LaRocco. In a moment, we'll have a live report on her recovery from yet another liver transplant.
We'll also tell you about that attempt to go around the world nonstop without refueling. Stay tuned.
What's new at Jewel this week? The makings for a very Merry Christmas. Highlight your holiday meal with government-inspected smoked ham shank portion, just 99 cents a pound, limit one. Add sunshiny goodness to your holiday with California navel oranges. A 4-pound bag is only $1.29. And your Christmas parties call for plenty of Tab, Sprite, or Coke. A 2-liter bottle is just 89 cents. For the very merriest Christmas.
Take a new look at an old friend, Jewel.
Even if this new Toyota FX16 didn't have a 16-valve twin cam, front-wheel drive and rack and pinion steering, fully independent suspension, and hot Goodyear Eagle GTs, it would still go fast, just because it's a reliable, economical Toyota.
Come on over, baby, whole lot of dealing going on. Who could ask for anything more?
See your Toyota dealer.
Yeah.
Want to know what Old English Oil can do for your paneling? I won't tell you. I'll show you. Look, I'll write on this paneling with Old English Oil. See the difference? Old English Oil moisturizes to help prevent drying and cracking. It helps bring out the beauty of wood and gives a rich, natural glow to all your furniture. And it's so easy to use. Old English Oil, a beautiful way to help protect against drying and cracking.
Nothing beats a Stouffer's pizza, luscious toppings on a French bread crust so crispy brown. All those great ingredients, it's so easy to pick up, but so hard to put down. Help yourself, help yourself, help yourself to Stouffer's pizza. Real cheese toppings, yes indeed. Just one hand is all you need. Help yourself, help yourself, help yourself to Stouffer's pizza. Help yourself to Stouffer's pizza.
6-month-old Megan LaRocco remains in critical condition tonight following her second liver transplant in the past 3 weeks.
Megan's body began rejecting the first transplant last Friday. But standing by live now at Weiler's Children's Hospital is Rick Salinger, who can tell us a little bit more about how Megan's doing. Rick?
Megan is now resting upstairs. She is sort of semi-conscious. She is a little bit aware of what is going on around her, but she is resting after another long operation, the second in 3 weeks. With me is Megan's father, Frank LaRocco, and the doctor that performed both operations, Dr. Christophe Broche. Let me ask Frank, first of all, when we talked with you at 10 o'clock last night, Megan was just going into the operating room. How long did the operation last, and what was it like for you to go through this again?
When we got the liver, it was a relief because she had a short time there to get the donor, and when we got the donor, it was a relief for us. So after the surgery, we were relieved. She came through it.
How many hours in there?
I believe it was 4.5.
Now, Dr. Brost, what I understand is it was not a rejection of the liver. Is that right?
Megan did not have a rejection. Actually, she had a very smooth course for the last 2 weeks, and all of a sudden she developed this acute problem. We explored her again yesterday, and we found that she had clotted off one of her main vascular contributors to the liver, and so she could not live on with that liver for a long time. Now, as you said, we were fortunate to have a donor organ available within the time given to us, and we did not hesitate to take that organ and transplant it right into her.
What are her chances now?
Certainly her chances are not as good as the first time, but I guess given the fact that she got an early retransplant and that she is doing stable right now, I still give her a very good chance.
Okay, we're pulling for. A lot of people have asked about how they can contribute to the Megan LaRocco Fund, and that fund is still in existence. There are hundreds of thousands of dollars of bills to be paid. The address of the Megan LaRocco Fund is care of the District National Bank that is on 35th Street in Chicago. And, of course, Megan first came to the attention of the public when 22 cans, donation cans that had been placed throughout the Bridgeport area to collect for her operation, were stolen. So now the family waits for Megan to recover. Hopefully this time the liver will go even better, and of course they will still have to face those bills. Live at Weiler Children's Hospital, I'm Rick Salinger, Channel 5 News.
Thank you, Rick. A little bit other medical news this evening. Until now, there's been no cure for victims of multiple sclerosis. But tonight, some encouraging news. Scientists say that spinal injections of interferon seem to slow the progress of the disease. The MS Society says that the apparent breakthrough is important, but that much more testing will be required before any firm conclusions can be reached. And a 7-year-old Korean girl that we told you about on Monday night has died. The girl's name was Ma Young. She was brought to this country for corrective heart surgery, unavailable in her homeland. The operation happened on Wednesday, but the heart defects were worse than originally expected, and Ma Young passed away this morning.
A New York City jury is in its second day of deliberations in the case against a makeup artist accused of masterminding a slashing attack on a fashion model. 25-year-old Marla Hanson was attacked last June by 2 men she claims were hired by her landlord, Stephen Roth. It is charged that Roth arranged the razor blade attack because Hansen refused his advances. The experimental aircraft Voyager, on its way around the world, is over Africa with some thunderstorms ahead, but other major storms are safely behind now. The pilots had to restart their forward engine and climb to about 18,000 feet for a while to avoid severe storms over Lake Victoria. Their fuel status also looks a little better than was thought for a while. It appeared there was a high fuel burn. It turned out to be just one fuel tank draining into the other to balance the aircraft.
There's much more to come on the Channel 5 News. After 5, we'll tell you who teens say is the most popular man in America.
And after a break, consumer reporter Sharon Wright looks at popular toys for some of us who never grew up. Stay tuned.
It's so much fun shopping in American supermarkets. Thousands of choices and low prices and variety. What a country! Fresh vegetable, quality meats, even seafood. In Russian supermarkets, we just wish we seafood.
All grinds of Hills Brothers coffee, $4.99. Mix and Max Scotland peas, green beans, and corn, 4 for $1. And Huggies diapers, regular super trim in the convenience pack, $8.99. Scott Lad, what a store.
Give us you're tired, you're weary, you're overworked business traveler yearning to be comfortable. AirCal 737 Executive Class Service welcomes you with exclusive luxuries throughout the plane, like first-class legroom and a variety of superior snacks and meals. Even telephone service and premium wines are available. AirCal welcomes you with new luxury at ordinary coach prices. AirCal 737 Executive Class Service. We make flying easy.
An elegant white and a rich red for your special occasions. Corvo, fine wine since 1824. An Anthony Terlato selection imported by Paterno Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Home-cooked soup with collagen.
Good help,
Hi, thank you. Never met a new neighbor who couldn't use some soup.
Oh, thanks.
Collagen says fit and stay warm.
Great soup, huh? What's your secret?
Collagen broth, simmered for hours, adds rich, full-bodied taste to soups.
The secret to great homemade soup, home cooking all the way.
Seem more like an old friend than a new neighbor.
Collagen, the taste that warms.
Collagen broth, the secret to great homemade soups.
The cost of living inched up last month, but for the past 12 months, inflation has been limited to just 1.3%. That's mostly because of falling energy prices. Oil. Nationally, the Consumer Price Index rose 0.3% last month, while in Chicago, prices rose 0.8%. Here, that was due mostly to rising food and beverage costs, along with increasing shelter and transportation expenses.
All right, I'm going to admit it. Christmas just hasn't been the same since I stopped getting toys under the Christmas tree. But Channel 5's consumer reporter Sharon Wright comes to the rescue with some fun things for grown-ups this year. Sharon?
Marlene, high-tech specialty stores are actually thriving this year. They've become a billion-dollar business. Stores like the Sharper Image report the Christmas buying blitz began early this season, almost 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. Hammaker Schlemmer is showing sales figures up 10% over last year, and new stores like Electricity are jumping into the market.
Customer profile, professional, affluent, 25 to 45 years of age. Lisa, Renee, and Mike might be considered typical. They're shopping for memorable, interesting gifts and these adult specialty stores draw them in.
I think probably the back massager, the chair that rolls down your back. That was probably the most unique thing that I've seen, and I would probably buy that someday if I could ever afford it.
The price tag on the chair, $1,099. Then look what they've done to the trunk lid of a Mercedes, turned it into a desk, and the spoiler from a Porsche into a coffee table. They're both in the $1,200 range.
It's a little out of my budget, but it's a great thing. I love Porsches, so that would be my ideal Christmas gift.
Now, if you're a parent, here's something more practical in the $32 price range, this portable nanny.
Get a little gadget that can hook onto a child, and once they get past 20 feet away, the beeper that the mother's holding will go off, or if they were to fall in water, then the beeper will go off also.
Then there's a voice-activated phone for $235. You want to call Mary? You just say Mary, and it dials.
Now, you have to program that voice-activated telephone, but the best thing that can be said about these stores is that their products are imaginative. For instance, this alarm clock is good for a chuckle or two. Instead of buzzing and beeping, it stomps its feet to wake you up. And now it will stomp for about 40 seconds or so. Actually, 40 minutes, they tell me, as long as you don't shut it off or perhaps throw it out the window first.
Not nearly 40 minutes would it stomp at my house.
No, you don't think it's going to wake you up? Now, the real hot item, the big seller this year, is this golf game. It's a computerized golf game, and I don't know if you can see it very well, but you've got this golfer, and you try and get it to swing. I think you've got to be a real pro at this, Ron, and I don't know if I can get this, but maybe I can hit it 395 yards. Look at that.
Right
We
down
did
the
it
middle.
right down the middle.
Just like Bing Crosby.
You think?
Yeah,
you
I
think
think so.
I'm going to make it?
You're ready.
Okay.
Spare the rod, spoil the clock. You know?
All right, now there are still those people on your list, I know, who have everything. What about people who have everything who don't deserve anything? Well, California businessman Don Dabowski will send anyone on the bottom of your Christmas list a gift-wrapped lump of coal, and he'll charge you $9.95. Dabowski says his company fills a need.
Well, with fuel prices as they are. Up next, when will it be ski season?
Hi,
The
John.
big question.
I want to get everybody awake because I got the weekend weather forecast. Stand by, folks. You're not going to stomp your feet. You may scream with joy as I tell you it's almost so nice you could water ski on the Chicago River. Stay with us for the full weather forecast.
A little to the right, honey.
Jewel knows holiday traditions are important to you.
Perfect. Now, flowers.
And our floral shop makes them extra special with expressions of brilliant beauty.
What about this one? That's for the Martins, dear.
Capture
We
the
have
spirit
lots
of the season with fresh and festive poinsettias, bursting with vibrant color and just $5.99. Share the joy of Jewel's holiday bright treasures.
there. Now it's Christmas.
Almost. Happy holidays from Jewel.
Make her your holiday queen with a coronation diamond. All quarter-carat rings, pendants, earrings, and bracelets are now $149.90 to $289.90 at McDade's. Our full 1-carat total weight diamond sale will put a dazzling shimmer under your tree. Full 1-carat coronation diamonds are from $499. This year, give a sparkling gift of love.
Your best Christmas ever at McDade's.
Whether you think mink, or kooky about tanuki, or lose your socks over fox, Burlington Coat Factory has the quality fur you hope to find at a price you never expected. But then, Burlington Coat Factory sells more coats to more women than any other place in the country. So it's only natural they can sell any coat, including any fur coat, for far less than you ever imagined. To save on a really fine fur, come to Burlington Coat Factory. It's the next best thing to getting your fur wholesale.
Take a closer look this Christmas. A closer look at Walgreens for Christmas. Catch the Christmas spirit at Walgreens. Take a closer look at Walgreens for Christmas. We're right here close to you.
Now, Walgreens has its lowest price ever on the Remington Microscreen Cord Shaver. Only $24.99. It shaves as close as a blade or your money back.
John, you keep running back and forth. Now, first, what was
it's
that?
Christmas time. We have a party going for the
I know you
newsroom.
do. You don't want to miss all
Lots of cookies. It's a good day, folks. Hope you're having fun at your house.
What was the thing? Does anybody know what the thing on the Chicago River was? I think one of our camera operators was just walking down Wacker today, sees a guy going down the Chicago River. I thought this was file tape when you showed it a minute ago, but this was today. This guy was out there today.
Well, the Chicago River is green, but that doesn't mean it's St. Patrick's Day. It's green most of the time. And yes, that was today, and there were two of them out there on those power skis having a good time. The Chicago River water temperature is around 40 degrees. The Lake Michigan water temperature is at 36. He was in a wetsuit. I bet he was comfortable and had a good time. Now, in the Northeast, they're snow skiing and having a good time. They've had their third big snowstorm overnight. Interior New England, look at these snow totals. 2.5 feet at Wilmington, Vermont. Big Snow Ski Resort has almost 2 feet. The Berkshire County area in Massachusetts has 1.5 feet. Here's some footage just in from the Boston area showing, I heard there were up to 60 semis that were stuck in southern New Hampshire. Pretty big snowstorm. It's over now. In the Chicago area, partly cloudy day. The sun was shining and they were out on power skis on the Chicago River. 27 was our low this morning, but we got up to 41 this afternoon. And with little wind, it was quite balmy as I was out Christmas shopping. At 4 o'clock, 38 degrees, humidity 70%, west breeze at 6, and we have high clouds now beginning to cover the sky, but I think they'll break up again during the night. Aurora's at 37, Fort Sheridan at 36. It is as warm as 40 degrees at this moment in the Loop, 37 officially at O'Hare Field. The lake water's at 36, and the Weather Service has forecast out for 1 to 4 foot waves on the open waters of Lake Michigan. And if they're water power skiing on the Chicago River, maybe somebody's going to boat on the lake. I'm predicting that we'll drop to about 32 during the evening hours, but with fairly clear skies and light winds, it should be a pleasant evening and night. Little southwest breeze 3 to 6 as we go into Saturday morning. And as the weekend before Christmas begins, this weak cloudiness that the satellite picks up over our area will be moving off toward the east, and this clearing sky will be developing. This is the pattern as of now, and the only snowflake, the only report of snow at this hour in the Midwest is a flurry at Grand Forks Air Force Base, North Dakota, up on the Red River of the North. There's an inch of snow on the ground at Green Bay, Wisconsin, an inch of snow on the ground at Madison, up to 4 inches of snow on the ground in northwest Wisconsin. These are 3 o'clock temperature readings around the Midwest, and really balmy for this time of year, with Garden City at 50 and St. Louis at 45. Nashville's also at 45. Miami has had one of the most incredible Decembers ever, 78 this afternoon. Phoenix has been a little cool for the last week and a half. They're at 68 now. And Bismarck's 22 is the coolest in the country. Tomorrow, I predict 20s will cover the Dakotas, Minnesota, and most of Wisconsin. Will be in the 30s. 40s will touch extreme southern Illinois, and it will be reasonably pleasant and tranquil. The storm that zapped the Northeast has ended there, has moved out over the ocean, so that snow has ended. Strong winds continue on Cape Cod. Up to 6 inches of snow will fall tonight in the mountains of California around Truckee as the latest storm moves in off the west coast, and that is our chance for a white Christmas, and it is a very slim chance as I see it now, because temperatures are going to continue mild and these storms are going to continue to weaken. Anything in the Midwest, apparently the stronger surges will be far to the south of us over the next week. Here's my Saturday forecast. Partly sunny, very light winds, low temperature 26, high temperature 36, west-north winds of only 4 to 8 miles an hour. Ideal weather conditions for your shopping on Saturday and for your fun on Sunday, when it'll be partly sunny again with a low of 26 and a high of 38. The last weekend before Christmas, a true beauty. I am still working at the Christmas snow. I'll report on that in half an hour. Marlene, Ron?
Well, all right, thank you.
Good weather for the power shopping this weekend. Coming up next on the Channel 5 News, Governor Thompson signs on for ComEd's rate freeze plan, but consumer groups really don't like it.
There was still a storm of protests from a Chicago firehouse following a police raid there. We'll be talking with some of the firemen.
And a bit later on, Norman Mark with the story of a boy, a girl, and a carnivorous plant.
All night long. Books cost too much, so I opened Crown Books. Now you'll never have to pay full price again. We have over 10,000 books to choose from. When every word counts, turn to the Webster's New World Dictionary, the authority in language, an incredible gift, just $9.99. And stock up for the holiday with SKC high-quality videotapes, just $3.99. Crown's one place you can't judge a book by its cover, price. So remember, if you paid full price, you didn't buy it at Crown Books.
Sniffles during the holiday season may be more than a cold.
Sometimes allergy reactions are caused by mold growing on Christmas trees, and inside the home, trees collect dust, and that's misery to the allergy sufferer. This holiday season, try coating boughs with mold retardant sprays. For more information on ways to prevent allergies in the home, give us a call.
Media Medicine Report is brought to you by St. Mary of Nazareth Hospital Center.
When you shop at Dominic's Ambassador Card section, you'll always find the right card for that special occasion or reason. Say Merry Christmas with Ambassador cards, gift wrap, and bows. And for that special event, party goods and candles. This week, save at Dominic's with our 25% off in-store coupon on any Ambassador Christmas item. This week's special offer from Dominic's. Use our 25% off coupon and save. Whatever the occasion, you'll always find the right card in the Ambassador collection at Dominic's.
Once again, Lincoln presents a collection of distinctive luxury automobiles, like the traditional Lincoln Town Car. It offers full-size luxury, a well-appointed interior, and the largest trunk of any car available. And it offers something more, Lincoln's commitment to quality. For the past 6 years, Lincoln has been unsurpassed in quality by any American-made luxury car. Purchase one by December 31st and take advantage of sales tax deductions on your 86 federal tax return. See your local Lincoln Mercury North Ford dealer.
A taste of... Governor Thompson and other top elected state officials tonight are calling that proposed Commonwealth Edison rate hike, rate freeze deal a boon to consumers, business, and labor. But Paul Hogan is here to tell us that some consumer groups are calling this a giant Christmas turkey.
Well, Ron, the deal was hammered out in secret as ComEd attorneys met with lawyers from the Attorney General's office and the governor's staff. Consumer groups who would have to drop all of their court fights against the utility weren't consulted until 2 nights ago.
We are here this morning to announce our basic agreement with a proposal that is without precedent in the nation.
The Republican governor was flanked by the Democratic Attorney General and state's attorney and the leaders of big labor and big business.
We think this is the most extraordinary proposal ever put together by a utility and by those public officials concerned with the rights of consumers in the history of the United States.
The state's political leaders say they will agree to what Thompson calls a 9.6% electric rate increase next year. Consumer groups say it's closer to 13%. And in return, ComEd would agree to freeze rates for the next 5 years. It means $600 million more per year from utility customers, a ComEd windfall of $3 billion through 1992. With that money, ComEd would be able to complete construction of its Braidwood reactor, which regulators were on the verge of canceling due to cost overruns and excess capacity.
It shifts the major, in fact, the entire responsibility for the completion of these facilities from the backs of consumers to the shareholders of the company.
But consumer groups who would have to give up their court fights against current and future rate hikes under the plan reacted angrily.
This agreement is likely to put all of the risks of potentially higher costs on consumers and transfer all the benefits to Edison. It is a minefield for Illinois consumers.
Edison will effectively have gotten consumers and the Illinois Commerce Commission off their back. Edison, for them, this is the best Christmas present they could ever hope for.
Although Governor Thompson says the rate freeze could only be lifted under extraordinary circumstances, consumer groups disagree. They believe that if the federal government imposes new costly safety standards for nuclear plants, commonplace in recent years, ComEd could demand and get rate hikes to cover the cost. The proposal now goes before the Illinois Commerce Commission, which will decide its fate.
Is anybody talking about an end date for all of this? Does it have to be done by a certain time, or ComEd backs out?
No, it doesn't, but you know, the ICC currently is hearing a case to cancel construction of the Braidwood plant, and that wasn't supposed to be decided until next April, the decision on that. So between now and then, if all parties can agree and hammer out this plan, it'll go ahead. If they can't, we presume all of the other court cases and the ICC hearings will continue to their conclusion.
All right. Thanks, Paul.
County Assessor Thomas Hines and Democratic Party Chairman Ed Verdoliak are at odds today over just who the spoiler is in the upcoming mayoral race. Hines gave the title to Verdoliak during a city desk taping. Then later, he got it right back.
Ed Verdoliak is running at all as a
Solidarity candidate or a Democratic candidate or any other kind of candidate because he does not have the support to be elected. He cannot and will not be elected, and I don't know why he's running. No one asked him to run. No one has urged him to run. He just said, I'm running.
And I'm totally committed to running for this position. And if he wants to be the spoiler for the second time and once again give us Harold Washington, that's his decision. But I'm there.
The entire interview with Hines can be seen on Channel 5 City Desk on Sunday morning at 10:30.
Tonight, the controversy over a raid on a Chicago fire station continues to smolder. In fact, there are some new allegations fueling it now.
A lawsuit will almost certainly be filed by the firefighters union against the city in connection with Tuesday evening's raid on one of the busiest firehouses in Chicago. And tonight there are allegations that the raid was racially motivated. But fire officials maintain the move was an attempt to halt drug and alcohol use by firefighters on the job. The Tuesday night raid on Fire Station 19 has deeply angered firefighters. Members on duty at the time of the raid, returning to work this morning, described what happened that night when police, drug-sniffing dogs, and fire officials descended on their firehouse.
Well, they hold everybody at bay, ordered everybody to the apparatus floor, and we was unable to call out.
They took us up 2 by 2 and searched our lockers. They brought the dog upstairs and let him walk around, you know, and that was basically it.
And what did they find?
Nothing, to my knowledge.
Fire officials who had the station under surveillance for 6 weeks say they were looking for drug and alcohol abuse, and they say they now have evidence. They also say the raid was prompted by complaints from neighbors. But neighbors we talked with today say their complaints against firefighters were not drug or alcohol related.
Problems of noise and disturbances along that line. Maybe the fire trucks coming back from a run and sounding their horns.
I've had an incident where I've had the water cannon from the firehouse on my front lawn.
2 cans of beer, 1 open, were found during the raid. But the ranking firefighter on duty at the time of the raid denies there's a drug or alcohol problem at the station.
This has happened many times in the past before at this house, and they never found anybody doing anything wrong yet. And unfortunately, this house has an onus about it. For the last 20 or 30 years, people think there's things going on here that aren't really going on. It's the best house in the city as far as I'm concerned. The men are number one.
It's made us look bad as a group. You know, and I say, I'm talking about us, referring to us black fire, because this is a black firehouse.
The firefighters union has asked for an investigation of the raid. Mayor Washington had this response today.
Oh, the firefighters are entitled to investigation. The fire commissioner is entitled to, must, and I insist that he must, run his department and run it well. On this, we're looking at it. We'll have something else to say about it later on.
No word yet on whether the firefighters union will get the meeting it requested with the mayor, while fire officials say disciplinary measures are pending against some firefighters.
And still ahead this afternoon, we'll trip the Christmas lights fantastic.
And you'll hear prophetic words from the late Mayor daily as we continue our special series on his honor.
A member of the Urban Health Services family. I'm no expert on varicose veins, but I know they're unattractive.
And unnecessary. The Center for Cosmetic Surgery offers 3 ways to eliminate varicose veins. One may be right for you. Phone 726-2002.
A member of the Urban Health Services family.
There's magic in Christmas.
And the magic can be yours when you shop at McDade's. Make your home more comfortable with the Pollenex Ultrasonic Humidifier. Give Royal's print display calculator with 4-key memory and LCD. And Royal's portable electronic typewriter is a super gift.
There's magic in Christmas.
At McDade & Company.
Will the Bears soon be getting a new lakefront stadium? And if so, what will happen to Soldier Field? The McCaskey family, which owns the Bears, has long complained about conditions at Soldier Field and has threatened to move out of the city. Today, the mayor agreed that the stadium has outlived its usefulness. And he also revealed that talks with the Bears are going well for a new stadium in the parking lot just south of Soldier Field. Word is that the land would be rented by the Park District and Soldier Field torn down. Now, here's what the mayor had to say about it.
The discussion with the Bears is moving well. It involves a site south of Soldier Field. Secondly, I haven't talked to the Friends of the Park on this issue. I will be talking to them very soon and plumb out their position. I'm sure that they're reasonable people.
The mayor's advisors say they're hoping for a decision on the proposal within the next week.
Channel 5's Phil Walters joins us now to continue his series of reports on the late Mayor Daley, who had some interesting remarks not long before his death.
Certainly did. Just before he died, Richard Daley talked about who might succeed him. Now it sounds as if he was reading from the 1987 mayoral ballot back in 1976.
We might even have an idea.
Men like Eddie Verdoliak, you have men like Alderman Burke, you have men like Alderman Belandic, you have men like Senator Richard Daley, you have men like Senator Madigan, Senator Hines, great women too, like Janie Burns, leader of women.
He named several others, too, but he did not include a black.
I'm not surprised at that. There was none being groomed, none was desired, none was wanted. He would have blown his mind if he'd thought that a black person would have succeeded him in that office. That's a matter of fact. Everyone knows it. You know, we can't rewrite history. This is not an indictment. It's just a statement of fact.
But as a government administrator, Daley did leave contributions. Allies and critics agree on that.
The patronage system undermined the city. The corruption undermined the city. But he appointed competent people within that framework, and then he appointed competent commissars to watch the departments.
The fact is that after the first 8 years, Daley would have been mayor if he had no democratic machine. The people would have voted him because he was a good mayor.
And Daley left a legacy of things. High-rises showing the faith of downtown developers, streetlights in the alleys, the University of Illinois campus here. He was proud of that. Just before his death, Daley was asked what his legacy might be.
The greatest achievement was in convincing people in '51 that the city wasn't washed up, that we had confidence in its future.
Critics say he also left us a legacy to overcome.
Even when the courts ruled that the city should build scattered site housing, Daley refused to do so.
And the argument is underway. Did he oversee the building of high-rise public housing, or was he the victim of federal policy? Did he fight open housing, or was he merely dealing with the reality of Chicago? His supporters, however, have one last argument that is tough to rebut.
No one can say he didn't work hard. No one can say he didn't love the city, and that's what he did.
So the final legacy may be an image that outlasts our memory of events, a symbol of dedication and caring for the city.
Thanks, Phil.
And about 10 years ago, a new tradition began at an Iowa farm. That's when Gene and Julie Wigg added a chore for the holiday season. Every October, they started stringing 7,200 lights around their farm using nearly a mile of wire. And their farm becomes a living Christmas card.
Now, how do we go from the quiet of that to a carnivorous plant? Well, we will somehow. Norman Mark will tell us about Little Shop of Horrors when we continue in a moment.
Feed me all night long.
Answer the question, comrade, if you please. What was Julius Marx more commonly known as?
Carl?
No. Groucho.
Gentlemen, enough, please. The Star Wars question. Who was Luke Skywalker's father?
Trivial Pursuit, 6,000 questions of no vital importance whatsoever. From Selchow and Ryder.
Go on, open it.
I was hoping for a Longines.
I got the hint.
Feels so
Supple.
From Longines, the gold medal. Thin, water-resistant. For him, for her. Never before are Longines this rich-looking for only $550. Very Swiss, very supple.
very...
Sensuous?
Yeah.
Quartz, of course. Longines gold medal.
Available at Pages.
This year, the sophisticated Parisian will be wearing red, while the young Bostonian is wearing pink. But if
miss you, Jane.
Saying goodbye is never easy.
Jane, téléphone, America.
But with AT&T International Long Distance, it's easy to say hello. Because a 10-minute call to France can average just 71 cents a minute.
So are you sophisticated yet? Sort of.
Only AT&T keeps you this close anywhere in the world.
Giersick Development has the architects, engineers, construction, and financial personnel to provide our clients with total project services.
Giersick Development efficiently produces buildings within budget and in the shortest possible time.
At Giersick Development, regardless of project size, attention to detail is how we build our reputation.
Prime locations, original design, quality construction. Giersick Development does it all.
The Metro Help Hotline needs volunteers. If you're a good listener interested in helping young people and would like to know more about volunteering, call 880-9860.
Singer Amy Grant is going to be a mom. She and her husband will become parents sometime next summer. Her publicist says she's thrilled. America's favorite father, Bill Cosby, is the person American teenagers admire most, according to a survey taken by the World Almanac of Heroes for Young Americans. Rating honorable mention, President Reagan, Eddie Murphy, Sylvester Stallone, and Clint Eastwood. And tennis star Chris Everett Lloyd and her husband John are parting company again. It's their second separation in an 8-year marriage. They say it's amicable and that divorce is not being considered right now.
These days, boy wins girl is not enough to win a movie audience. But Channel 5's Norman Mark tells us that when boy wins girl with the help of a man-eating plant, now that's the stuff hits are made of.
Yes, I think so. That's wonderful. We're talking instant cult film here. Little Shop of Horrors is a little gem, a musical which doesn't have a single off note, a film which is hilarious. It's one of those special films which makes reviewing and watching movies a pleasure. Rick Moranis is Seymour Krelburn, an ultimate nebbish who works in a flower shop and who discovers a strange plant that grows on human blood. Eventually, he feeds his enemies to this plant. He's in love with the shop cashier, played by Ellen Greene, with a terminally nasal accent. John Candy appears briefly as a radio talk show host who likes the weird.
How's everybody doing today? I got a little bit of a stiff neck. Let me just fix this up. Oh, that feels a lot better.
Levi Stubbs of the Four Tops is the right mixture of fun and threat as the voice of the plant named Audrey 2.
Me all night long. That's right, boy. You can do it.
And here, Steve Martin stops the movie. He dates the cashier, and he's mean. He reveals why he was attracted to his profession.
I'd poison Guffet when I was done. I'd find a pussycat bashing its head. That's when my mama said,
What did she say?
she said, my boy, I think someday you'll find a way to make your natural tendencies pay. You'll be a dentist. You have a talent for causing things. Hey, come be a dentist. People will pay you to be inhumane. Your temperament's wrong for the priesthood, and teaching would suit you still. Come be a dentist.
Oh, it's good. Let's not forget that doo-wop trio we saw in the background with the bouffant hairdos during the early Supremes-type numbers. Audrey singing about wanting a place in the suburbs. The energy, the style, the charm, everything about this movie was right. Norman's Mark, 4 stars. Little Shop of Horrors will grow on you, and who would have believed that the most delightful film, one of the most delightful films of the holiday season, would be about a bloodthirsty, man-eating plant singing 50s-type rock songs.
PG rating is for dentists. Keep them away.
Yes.
That's terrible. All right, good.
Thanks, Norman. I know we'll have the latest on the Bears, but you're also going to have a special guest today.
That's right. The Bears are in Dallas, and the lady that they call the Queen of the Court, and that she is.
Channel 5 Sports is being sponsored by Porsche.
The preceding performance has been brought to you by Porsche.
Your Chicagoland dealers invite you to take advantage of year-end tax savings.
Heart disease, virtually unknown among the Eskimos of Greenland. Why? Studies revealed oily fish in their diet helped reduce buildup of fatty deposits in their arteries. If you're not eating enough of these fish, you can now get the highest natural concentration of their oils in new Promega from Park Davis. Add Promega to your dietary plan that reduces total fats and substitutes polyunsaturates and help reduce your risk of heart disease.
What's new at Jewel this week? Big brand name bargains. The savings are sizzling on a menu favorite, Armour Star Low Salt Bacon. A 12-ounce package is just $1.79. Your happy holiday baking calls for Fleshman's Margarine. A 1-pound package is only 99 cents. And check our dairy case for the freshest savings on Breakstone Sour Cream, just $1.19 for a 16-ounce carton. For big brand name bargains.
Take a new look at an old friend, Jewel.
Oh, the joys of flying coach on most airlines. There really is a much better way. AirCal's new 737 Executive Class service, a first-class way to fly at prices others charge for ordinary coach. AirCal, we make flying easy.
All right, Warner's going to start out here with the Bears and our holiday gift wish.
Yeah, that is right. Are the Bears going to go to the Super Bowl? Yes, friends, but you got to believe. Now, say it after me. You got to believe. Today, they were out in Lake Forest. The Bears will travel to Dallas for their second game of the year against the Cowboys. It's the final regular season game. Are they ready, Mike Singletary?
Well, I feel that, right now we're getting better in a lot of areas. And I think, we're peaking. And I think the biggest thing that's going to happen right now, the offense is going to have to really put some things together and make some things happen. And I know they're going to. And as far as defense is concerned, I think, there are a lot of things that we can do a lot better. And our specialty teams as well. And I think once we get all three of those things going, we're going to be a lot better.
Like I said, you got to believe. The Bulls face the Utah Jazz at the stadium tomorrow night. Last night, Jordan and company set the pace on the Pacers. Let's look at that one. After being down by 15 points in the first half, the Bulls' Michael Jordan puts him up within 1 point in the third quarter. Watch Steve Coulter. Nice pass to Michael. Is that a nice move by Michael? Now watch Elston Turner. He's going to spot Jordan outside. There's the old alley-oop for Jordan. Now watch this one. Jordan is going to have the whole entire team hanging all off of him. He passes to Oakley for the slam dunker. The Bulls win it 97-88. Dorothy Gators, in 11 seasons of coaching, has won 9 city championships, 2 state titles, and has a record, listen to this one, 311 wins and only 25 losses. Meet the great coach of the Marshall High School Lady Commandos. Thanks for being with us. Well, with a record like that, where do you go from there? How's this team this year? And I know you guys are going to be playing in the Mayor Washington tournament. Is that not right?
Right. Well, we have a young team this year. I would say that they're progressing probably at a normal rate. So I think they're going to be at least a good representative.
Now, boys, as different from girls, there's a big situation there. Boys are always thinking about getting to the NBA. When you send the young ladies off to school, they're thinking about graduating, are they not?
Well, the primary emphasis is to get a college degree because there is no professional league in the United States, but there is a league abroad. We have a player from our school who's playing in Italy. This is her second year there.
I know this one is going to make you blush. What makes Dorothy Gators so good? I mean, there's girls come to all schools. You keep winning. 311 wins, 25 losses.
Well, there's an old saying that good players make good coaches, and I think that we've been a tremendous benefactor of that.
The other question is that you winning the championship a couple of years ago. What about being a coach for the boys? Would you ever think about, let's say, that Luther Bedford left Marshall for some reason or another? Would Dorothy Gator step into that position?
I wouldn't even entertain the thought. I think that our kids need a strong identity figure, and certainly a lady could not fill that role for our young males.
I'm not too sure about that. Thank you for being with us. You're doing a heck of a job, and I hope everybody comes out to see you play. We got a final story right here. Are you looking for a gift for that sports-minded person in your life? Well, take a stroll in this store.
It's a great Christmas item. Supposed to keep you cool.
Since 1848, Hammaker Schlimmer has featured the unusual gift for the sportsman with that different taste. For the skier, the self-defrosting ski goggles, along with the speedometer to record how fast you go down that hill. And if you dream of the high seas,
and for a mere $216, you can act like you're in Perth, Australia, sailing in the America's Cup.
with battery-heated socks to warm his nautical feet. How about a lighted golf ball so you can play in the dark?
So you mean I could literally play until midnight? That's true. Does it glow underwater?
Underwater would be hard. It does glow underwater.
But wait, for golfers like me, there's another product.
But Neiman Marcus has the kind of handicap that I like best.
Is that good? I'll bring you some back, guys.
Now, Ron and Marlene, I lost 3 of the golf balls in the water on the way over here, but I have saved these 3 for you. Oh, am I not a good friend?
You really are. You
Yes.
really are.
Yes.
Don't lose those on the way back to the sports
We're still going to make you count the strokes for the lost balls, though.
Up next, the 5-day forecast. John Coleman, stay with us.